to get started today, Brant Ringler is going to make some opening remarks, introduce our guests from Lockheed Martin Orlando to make a few comments about the tournament. We'll have the coaches speak with an opening statement. We'll do questions from the floor, then we'll break down into one-on-ones after that. So without further ado, Brant Ringler, the Executive Director of the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl.
All right, thank you, Tim, and thank you everybody for being here today. I truly appreciate you taking the time. When we first start off, just say, welcome home, Sonny.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome back to Texas. And Coach, I think I can say the same thing with you. Welcome to your second home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love having you guys here. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Brant.
These two teams, you're going to see two contrasting styles. One throws, one runs. I think we're going to have a high-scoring affair. We're excited about this matchup. If you guys recall, when we had them in 2007, we had the highest scoring game we've ever had. We also had phenomenal weather, and they've promised me that they're bringing that again. So we look forward to that. We have a great bowl week planned with a lot of stuff for your team to enjoy. I think your guys will have a really good time here during bowl week. Hope they get to relax a little bit, stay focused, and bring on a great bowl game. But the bowl game itself is all about honoring our armed forces, and I hope you guys will tell your players that what we're trying to do here is thank our armed forces across the board, all branches. It's very special, all the things that we do around the game. But we couldn't be doing this without our title sponsor, Lockheed Martin, and I want to make sure tell them thank you for everything you guys have done. Look at this beautiful facility that we're in right now, and that all starts with the lead gentleman, the president of Lockheed Martin Aeronautics, Orlando Carvalho. I want to have him say a few words.
Brant, thank you very much. And I'd just like to point out to everybody that I am ready for the game. I've come dressed, ready for the game, and we're absolutely looking forward to the Armed Forces Bowl. Thank you. Welcome to our headquarters for Lockheed Martin Aeronautics here in Fort Worth, Texas. We are very proud to be the sponsor of this bowl game. We have always been a part of and have participated in the bowl game from the very beginning. But beginning last year, we took over the sponsorship of the game, and so this is our second year sponsoring the game. As Brant mentioned, we had a great game last year, and although the weather wasn't the greatest, but I think hopefully the gods are going to smile upon us and things are going to be a lot better this year. But we think the game this year is going to be even greater, having the Air Force Academy here and the University of California here. We're expecting just a fantastic game, and we also believe that there's going to be a fantastic flyover to start the game with some of our F-35 airplanes that we're producing right here in Fort Worth. That's going to be part of the opening of the game, thanks to the United States Air Force providing that. So really is an honor to be a part of this, and we sponsor the game because this game is about the men and women who serve in our armed forces and who defend our freedoms every day. And this is our way, and it's a very small way, but it's our way of honoring those great men and women who are part of the armed forces. So again, thank you, coaches, for being here, and Brant, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Orlando.
Okay, let's turn it over to Coach Dykes. Coach, you're kind of coming home to Texas.
I am.
You've been in this state once before. You had a pretty exciting game against Texas. What was it, 45-44? So give us some thoughts about the Cal Bears coming to Fort Worth.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks to Lockheed Martin, and we're excited to be here in Fort Worth. Really excited about the opportunity to play in the Armed Forces Bowl. And excited about the opportunity to represent our armed forces and educate our players a little bit about the sacrifices that they make, and I think our players will have a great time and learn a lot about it, and I know our guys are excited to come to Fort Worth. It's the first time we've been in a bowl game in a while, and so I know our players are really excited about this opportunity. Air Force certainly has a very good football team. We know we're going to have our hands full. Troy does a great job coaching. They play incredibly hard. They're going to be very well coached. But our guys will be excited about having a chance to compete and get our 8th win, which would be pretty substantial for our program, and as we continue to build. But it is great to be home. And Texas is my home. Was born and raised here, and it means a lot to me. And my wife is from Wichita Falls. So we're going to have a lot of friends and family that'll be here for the football game. It should be a great, a great ball game, and we're again excited and honored to be a part of it.
Well, Troy Calhoun, fifth trip here. You got, what, 18 Texans on your roster, of which 11 I make a contribution. So welcome back, and your thoughts on the Falcons.
Yeah, first of all, Tim, we're quite fortunate to be a part of such a fantastic bowl and to do so again and again and again. And certainly the tremendous work, great title sponsor, and yet more importantly, great people with Orlando and the people here at Lockheed Martin. And there's just nobody better in the business at what they do than Brant. And anytime you have a chance to play in a bowl game, we know it's a heck of an accomplishment at the Air Force Academy. And we're just really pumped up, to be here and to play against an excellent football team. I think you look throughout the year and you watch the University of California, and I don't know why, just ironically, there were times throughout the season we'd come home and a man say, hey, let's watch a game or two. I had to watch these guys about 7, 8 times. I thought, golly, they are good. And didn't think anything of it. Then when the announcement came, somebody said, you're going to play Cal. That was sobering. And yet we mean that in the most respectful way. Sonny does a phenomenal job. Him and his coaches everywhere they've been, they're winners, and they do it with a ton of class. Their guys play hard, and what we want to do is, again, hopefully we have a chance to play a heck of a football game.
Start with you, Air Force known for the ground game, but talk a little bit about the Cal quarterback. You said some very nice things about him, but obviously we've got one of the top quarterbacks in the game.
Yep, remarkable player, and we were visiting at lunch for a little bit. I mean, tremendous arm, accurate passer, a guy that gets it down the field, a guy that's got a great feel in the pocket. He makes in-rhythm throws, yet at the same time, the things that he does, it drives you absolutely nuts. They're out of design and creating a little more space and bigger plays. They're fantastic on offense. And we had a chance to look at a good number of their plays in their last game when they scored 48 points against a very good Arizona State team. You just go back all the way throughout the season. Excellent player, tremendous offense, excellent football team.
Sonny, talk a little bit about the Air Force ground game. I don't know if the Pac-12 has a rushing attack like that.
No, we certainly haven't seen anything like this in a long time. I mean, they do a tremendous job running their offense. They execute at a high level. I think that's the biggest compliment that you can give a football team is two things, really, is that they play incredibly hard and they execute at a very high level. And Troy does a great job. Their guys know how to play. They're very precise in what they do. They're a team that, can beat you a lot of different ways. They throw the ball better than you think they do. They're really good at throwing it. They've got some good receivers, some guys that can run, that are athletic. That's what stuck out to me when I put the film on. And again, just a very well-coached football team and a team that's going to play very hard and be very good at what they do. Have a true identity. And I think that's what really good football teams have, an identity. And this football team definitely has an identity.
Okay, it's open for questions. If you'll give your name and who you're representing. So questions from the floor. Eric? We have no mic, so.
Hi, I'm Eric Cerrone from Fort Worth Bear. Coach, that's the seven wins this year. Is starting when you got one of the right. How big is it? This kind of payoff, hitting the bowl and doing more with this?
Yeah, I think it's really significant. I think, as Troy alluded to earlier, they've played in a lot of bowl games at Air Force. I believe, 8 in the last 9 years, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's a very consistent program, and that's where we want to go. That's where we'd like to be, as a program that year in, year out goes to bowl games. When you're trying to turn a program, we're going to get 15 practices prior to this game. That's a whole nother spring training for our young football players. We've really worked hard to have a chance to develop those guys. We're still a young football team. And so, just this experience, the opportunity for our team to spend a significant time together on the road and bond, all of those are things that really contribute and lead to, having sustained success in a program. And so it's a big step for us, having a chance to play in a bowl game and be on a national stage and compete against a good football team is kind of the next step in that process. And we just got to keep building, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, we have the mic now. Next question.
Well, Coach Calhoun talked about Goff, your quarterback. Why don't you talk about what he brings to your team?
You know, he's a unique player. I've been really fortunate to have a chance to work with a lot of good quarterbacks, and Jared's certainly, if not the best, one of the best I've ever had a chance to work with. And you know, I think it all starts with him, just with his preparation and the work that he does on a day-to-day basis. You know, he's one of those kids that you know, grew up coming to Cal games. It was his you know, dream to have a chance to play at Cal. His father was a baseball and football player at Cal. His mother went to Cal, and so he's getting to live his dream really, and to play you know, for the Golden Bears. And he you know, came in, had to play as a true freshman, and we were not very good. We were not very good as a team, not very good as an offense, and he gained some invaluable experience that first year, and really grew up and got tough mentally. And I think if you're going to be a quarterback that's going to, you know, be successful as a college quarterback and even at the next level, you've got to be mentally tough, and he's really developed that way. He's a guy that physically can do everything you want him to do. He can make all the throws. He's a good athlete, a little better athlete than probably people think. He runs around pretty well, and is the best quarterback in the pocket that I've ever seen. You know, he can manipulate the pocket, move, find throwing lanes, and does a really good job keeping his eyes down the field. The rush never bothers him, and you know, it's been fun to work with him. As I said, he's gotten better every year, and I still think his best football is in front of him.
Okay, question?
Hey, Brian Estridge with WBAP, and really for both of you, but let's start with you, Coach Calhoun. Recruiting here in the state of Texas is important to the Air Force Academy. How does this bowl game help that? And Coach Dykes, I know you, obviously, with the Texas ties, if you could get into that as well, what does this game do for you recruiting here in the state?
You know, quite honestly, a real concern is when TCU left our league, and obviously made a phenomenal transition and done quite well in the Big 12. We lost a footprint, a direct connection to the state of Texas, and we'd love for there to be another school in our league that was from this state, and yet anytime you're able to return to this area, I mean, there's just no better high school football. I mean, exceptionally well coached, kids are passionate, they understand what it means to make a commitment, and frankly for us too, where there's a strong link is in this state. It's a very patriotic state.
Hey, Coach Dykes, for you, I mean, I know obviously your tie here to Texas. Do you want to recruit even more here out of the state?
Yeah, definitely. As Troy said, I think, you know, to me, recruiting is all about finding a fit. And for us, you know, academically, the schools in Texas are outstanding schools. A lot of the kids are high academic kids. You know, as Troy said, they love football. There's a passion for the game. There's a toughness associated with a lot of the kids that come out of Texas. You know, we have significant recruiting ties in the state. A lot of our coaches have either coached in the state of Texas or from the state of Texas, and so it's a big deal for us to have an opportunity to get in the Metroplex. You know, to have an open practice and get high school coaches to come out and continue to build those relationships, because, you know, recruiting is a relationship business. It really is, and when you get to know coaches and they have a chance to watch you work with your players, then they become more comfortable with your program. And so we look forward to, you know, to being here and interacting with as many coaches as we can, and you know, it's a big deal for us to be playing a game in the state of Texas.
Another question? I have one question while we're getting it back there. Both conferences qualified probably a record number of teams. Troy, why don't you talk about the Mountain West, and Sonny about the Pac-12, just the level of competition that you had within your conference.
Yeah,
Troy?
sure. You know, I think last year, our division's a 16 division. Last year, 4 of the 6 won at least 10 games. This year, 5 of the 6 are in a bowl game. And so, I mean, just week in, week out, the way that you're going to get tested in our league, at some point, maybe is there an overwhelming factor? Perhaps. Yet at the same time, I think that's what hardens you. I think certainly the players, you know, you gravitate, or at least the ones you want. There's some magnetism and pull there to play against excellent competition, and quite frankly, even your coaches, you know, amongst your staff, you enjoy getting ready to play against good football teams.
Okay, Sonny?
Yeah, you know, I think certainly the Pac-12 is, if not the best conference in college football, certainly up there in the discussion. You know, it's funny, I had a chance to coach in a lot of different leagues. I've been in the SEC and the Big 12, and the WAC and some different places. And, I'd put the Pac-12 up there against anybody. What makes the league special, I think, is the depth. There's 10 bowl-eligible teams this year from the Pac-12. Week in and week out, you better play well. That's the thing that stands out. If you don't play well, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. You're going to get beat. And it doesn't matter if you're the best team in the league or a team in the middle of the league. You have to play good football week in and week out. And that really does, it's a test for our players and it's a test for our coaches, but it's a test that we really enjoy. We feel like year in and year out we're going to play one of the toughest schedules, with non-conference games against San Diego State, who had a very good football team, in Texas, who had a very, that's a very good football team. And so, those 2 non-conference games and a 9-game schedule, that makes you better, and it does really harden you and, and get you prepared. And we lost 5 games this year. I believe all 5 of those teams that we lost to at one point during the year were ranked in the top 7 in the country. And so, we played great competition and it made us a better football team.
Bo, you had a question?
Yeah, quick. Bo Carter with Sports Page Sales for Coach Calhoun and Coach Dykes. Coach Calhoun, talk about Bo and Blaine Morgan and some of the Texas assistant coaches, and then for Coach Dykes, will Spike Dykes be here to tell some stories and share his wit and wisdom with us? Thanks.
Hey, I know we alluded to this a little bit earlier. I mean, just the number of guys that we've had from this state that are presently on our team, and then specifically here in the Metroplex. I mean, you just go on down the line, and it's Nate. We got a bunch of guys even from this region, the guys that are from Oklahoma and Kansas, and it's for those guys to be home. What we're going to do, we're going to finish our finals on a Wednesday evening. We're going to send them home Thursday evening, and to be able to drive to the bowl and to have a bunch of their family members here too. That's a big deal, and especially for our seniors, just because our guys, when they're done playing college football, they're done. They're going to go serve on active duty, and they're not going to play. More than likely not going to play again. So that's a big deal for their family to be able to be present.
Yeah, I'm sure my dad will make an appearance at some point, probably an uninvited appearance. No, I talked to him last night. He's excited to come up. He really is. When he found out we were playing here in Fort Worth, he was really excited. And this will be a big homecoming for us. When you're a college football coach, you don't get a chance that often to spend time with friends and family, and especially around the holidays. And so, this is going to be great. We're going to come a couple of days early, spend Christmas, in a hotel in Fort Worth, which will be awesome, and have all our family that'll come up a little bit early, and we're really excited about it. I mean, it's going to be a great experience, and get a couple of days rest before we crank it up and start practice on Christmas Day and start preparing for these guys, because we're going to need to be prepared well.
Okay, any other questions? I guess I got 2 more to end. Troy, if you'll talk about your preparations prior to the bowl game, when will you be arriving in Fort Worth, and just talk a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. Our bye was back in September, and obviously we played all the way through our conference championship game there a week and a half ago on Saturday night in San Diego. And what we did is we flew back. We landed early in the morning Sunday, and all of our coaches went, and we switched bags and immediately hit the road recruiting. So we're able to practice on Sunday afternoon, which was, 2 days ago, and we'll practice tomorrow night, we'll practice Thursday, and our guys badly need a break. I mean, every one of our guys either take 18 or 21 semester hours, and just academically, it's a hard place. And all those younger guys, all those freshmen started back on June 25th with basic training, and they really, really do need to go home. But I think the boost to that, just some of the juice, some of the charge that you see in kids that naturally occurs, we look forward to getting here. What we're going to do is we're going to bring all the players in on the afternoon of the 25th. A good number of our coaches will get here on the evening of the 24th, so that means we got to get Santa Claus redirected for Amelia's 11. So she asked if there's a chimney here, and so we got to, those are some of the things logistically that are really, really important.
No doubt.
But you just, like Sonny said, you get to practice some of the kids in the area that you're recruiting. I mean, even all the way over into Louisiana, they're going to try to come by and watch you work. You can't talk to them, but for them to be able to observe and just see the way you're organized and just get a feel, get a pulse for the kind of culture and the chemistry you have amongst your football team. So that's the way we'll work, and then obviously kick it off there at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, December 29th in 2 weeks.
Sonny?
Yeah, we've had a similar approach. We wrapped up a couple of weeks ago and had a crazy ball game against Arizona State, which was really a big win for us and an exciting game for our players. Then same thing, we hit the road the next day. I had 3 home visits that Sunday after that Saturday football game, and so we went recruiting that whole next week, came back and practiced Friday, Saturday, Sunday, went back on the road, recruited, practiced another Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're in final exams this week, and our kids are paying attention to the finals. I mean, at Cal, our guys have to study incredibly hard. It's really important for our guys to be focused this week on academics. And so we're going to give them off until Friday, and we'll practice Friday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we'll break on the 21st and then convene on the 25th and practice, 4 days here at the bowl site. So every practice is important to us as we're starting to continue to develop our program. And, every chance that our young players have to get a practice in, we want to take advantage of it. So it's been a crazy 2 weeks between, recruiting, between practicing on the weekends, hosting official visits. It's kind of your family kind of forgets who you are, and you almost forget how to get home sometimes, but it's that time of year. And again, we're looking forward to getting here and competing.
Okay, we're going to end it with one last question for each one of you. This is kind of off-the-wall storyline stuff, but Troy, you played Michigan State this year. They're going to be playing in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. And this will be the first question to you about them that can maybe for Eric and the man from the Dallas Morning News. What's your comments on the Spartans, and will they win the game?
I'll say this, they're an exceptional football team. I think some of the ingredients that you have to be a great team, they have them. They have a veteran, excellent quarterback, a guy that I think's had like 36, 37 starts, a guy that I think's a surefire guy to play in the NFL down the road. They're extremely well coached, very, very physical, and have a good defensive front, so they rush the passer really well, and yet at the same time, 2 good backs, and they have some big play receivers. So they have all the ingredients, and they're tested. I mean, really battle-hardened all the way when you look having to win in Columbus, Ohio, difficult to do, finding a way to win in Ann Arbor, and the way they played Oregon. So very formidable squad.
Sonny, obviously you competed against Oregon, and I think Oregon's playing a team from around here, aren't they? Stuff. Your thought about Oregon for our friends in Fort Worth?
Yeah, I think we're talking about hanging around actually and driving up and watching the Oregon TCU game, and in San Antonio maybe after we're done. Yeah, Oregon's a very unique football team. I mean, tremendous speed. I think that's when you look at them just across the board at all skill positions. They have great speed. Vernon Adams is a quarterback that can make a lot of plays. It reminds me a lot of Johnny Manziel. When I was at Louisiana Tech, we played Texas A&M when Johnny was a quarterback there, and they're very similar. They almost execute better on the run than they do in the pocket, and Vernon Adams is a really exceptional quarterback. Not real big, makes a lot of plays, got better as the season went on. I think that's the thing that stood out for me is you watch the tape early, and you say, yeah, he's a good player, and then you watch the tape at the end of the year, and you say, wow, this guy's an exceptional player. And, their offense always runs through the quarterback position. They've got a lot of speed at running back, have a lot of depth at wide receiver, have a unique scheme, really good at what they do. And then up front, defensively, they can give you some problems. I mean, they've got great size, great speed, and just a really good football team. So that should be a great matchup. I think that TCU-Oregon game will be one of the better bowl games, and it'll be a fun game to watch. I'm looking forward to, like I said, sticking around and going and watching that thing.
Okay, well, this concludes what we have. Orlando, would you like to make a final comment? And thank you for hosting us today. Second straight year here, very impressive, and so forth. So thank you. Any final comments?
No, thank you again for the opportunity, and we're looking forward to a great game.
Thank you.
Brant?
Just exactly what Orlando said. Thank you for being here. Truly appreciate it. We're going to treat you guys with first class all the way. Take care of your guys, and we're going to honor all our armed forces as well. So thank you again for being here.